Ethan. I've been dragging him all to these rom-com films.
Yeah, it's rom-com?
Well, not rom-com. Sorry. Whoa, really off. This is not a rom-com.
Hello and welcome to Cassette Take, where you can eject wherever you want, but please don't forget to rewind. I'm Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And Annmarie, what did we just go see and we're absolutely sad about, but in a happy way, but in a sad way, but in a very happy, sad way?
It was very bittersweet. We just saw We Live in Time.
Yeah, We Live in Time, directed by John Crowley, starring Florence Pugh, and Andrew Garfield Hates Mondays.
Yes.
Yes.
Poor Ethan. I've been dragging him all to these rom-com films.
Yeah, it's rom-com?
Well, not rom-com. Sorry. Whoa, really off. This is not a rom-com.
You would kind of think that based on, like, the weird unintentional marketing campaign, which, by the way, that horsey, the little horsey, the carousel horsey that was kind of, like, taking up a third of the poster or, like, that one screenshot or whatever.
He's in it.
He's in it for half a second. He's not in it for any more. So if you're going exclusively to this movie to see the horsey in action, man, I'm sorry to say this movie lets you down there. But everything else was fun.
Oh, yeah. So the story is that Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield fall in love, and it kind of takes place in different time periods. And unfortunately, Florence Pugh is struck with cancer, and
that's it. They live life, because we don't want to give too much away here. That's in
the trailer.
No, that's what I'm saying. I want to stop you after cancer.
Yes.
Yeah, I stopped the cancer. I did it. I did it all by myself. No, yeah. So like, it has all these different moments throughout their lives, and it's edited in a way where it's pieced together out of order, but it's in a very calculated,
yes,
poetic sequence that it feels like you're kind of remembering things like from their perspective if they were in the future, and remembering things in a certain sequence of why certain memories connect to the other. And I think that's just such an interesting way to tell a story. A lot of this movie is the general storyline. If you were to watch it like in a chronological order, it would be very run-of-the-mill.
Yeah.
But the way that it's told here, the way that it's executed, very similar. What was the movie we saw recently? Not Saturday Night, but there was another one, Transformers.
Oh, yeah.
Where there's a lot of, run-of-the-mill aspects to that movie, but the execution of it is so well done that it feels brand new and original.
I thought I would be confused by the timeline, but it does make sense after you kind of watch it of, how they met, how they fall in love, everything about their life. So that was one thing I wasn't sure about, and I'm happy it wasn't like that.
Yeah, and I wasn't even sure about the chemistry between Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh at first with the first few scenes. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Like, I love both of them. Don't get me wrong. I love both of them, their acting and all that. But it just felt like with the first few scenes, I don't know if they work together in this way here. But as the movie goes on, they most certainly do. And, I'm really glad that you took us to see this movie, Annmarie, because I don't think I would have seen it otherwise. At least not in the theater, at least.
Yeah. Well, first off, thank you. Second off, I had the same exact feeling. I was like, their chemistry at the beginning, I was like, oh no, this isn't good. Oh no, this is really not good. And then it got better because, oh my God, Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield bleed just this charm about them. They're both so charismatic, which I love about them. And this is Annmarie's not hot take, but Florence Pugh deserves an Oscar. Maybe not for this film, but she deserves an Oscar.
Yes. While her performance is indeed Oscar worthy, I don't think she's gonna be winning anything for this performance.
Could be nominated.
Yes, that I will absolutely say, and that would within itself would be a win. But if say she were to win an Oscar for the role, like, would I be complaining? No, absolutely not. But yeah, no, I think Florence Pugh is definitely due for an Oscar for quite some time now, and she's gonna get it. She's gonna get it. Mark my words, and probably many other people's words, because I'm sure it's common practice to speak that Florence Pugh is indeed gonna get an Oscar soon enough.
One day.
One day.
This was so interesting too, because you kind of know where it's going. No spoilers yet. You kind of know where it's going, but it still hit me at certain moments, and maybe that's just because like what's going on like in my life and everything, but it just made me so like it was bittersweet.
I think it's just the aspects of how they handle tragedy in this movie. Like, again, it goes back to the sequence in which they tell the story in out of order, but like in a well-meaning, calculated order. And it just makes the next moment, like, it doesn't always give away what's going to happen next in that moment we are currently in. But, like, eventually you just kind of learn and just feel like, oh, so this happened, and this gives this moment more meaning, and that's why we see it first rather than later. And, you know, it just enhances the tragedy, but, like, really brings a sense of, like, beauty to it, and really focuses on the love in tragedy more so than anything else, the wholesomeness of it all. But yeah, it does such a great job of it. What would you say is your favorite storyline of between them all these moments? Because I feel like there's a few different storylines throughout the movie, like because of course it's told in different sequences. What would you say is your favorite one that stood out to you?
Yeah, I think the biggest one for me was actually her cooking. So Florence Pugh is a chef in this movie, and the storyline of her being like, "Hey, I wanna do this. Like, yes, I'm a mom, and I might have cancer, but I can do so much more." And I think that to me really spoke to me, like, as a female, we don't have to be like just subject to one thing, or anyone doesn't have to be subject to one thing of who they are. And so especially the ending sequence I thought was so cool, as well as that food looked amazing, by the way.
Yeah, not quite on the Studio Ghibli level, but like it was pretty close.
Yes, but I think that's such a powerful message too. But yeah, there's so much in this movie that people can take away. The pregnancy storyline, if you had to go through something as tragic as cancer, you know, also finding a relationship, building that relationship, I think was really cool. And man, Tobias is a standard for men. I think he was so sweet and so calm. And so I think Andrew Garfield killed that performance.
Yeah, both. And I love how they channeled like these characters that are not perfect. They are both very flawed. And even when we get to like a moment where these characters are at their best, we kind of see them almost immediately at their worst, like right afterwards. And it really demonstrates that even when we, you know, think someone is truly perfect, which, let's be honest, Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh are perfect. But even when we think someone is perfect, we put them on a pedestal and we're watching their lives, you know, play out right in front of us. They're not. They're not perfect. Yeah. And this movie does a really good job of handling how flawed, how even really well-meaning, really good inspirations for humanity can be flawed, and how imperfect they can be while also seeking to be better.
Oh, that was such a good response.
I don't know, man. I spit verbs.
It was happy, sad.
Bad.
Bad.
But with that, we got to move on to our spoiler talk here. And we got plenty of other things to move on to here. But before we do, Annmarie, out of 10 succulent, delightful, delicious dishes being served adjacent to a freaky-looking carousel horse, how many of those out of 10 would you give this movie?
I think this movie is good. I don't think it's like groundbreaking or anything. And I do think Florence Pugh really kills it in this role. Pew pew. We've been doing that all day. Also, the memes that you can get from this movie would be super funny. So I'm going to give it a solid 7.5. I think that's a really good for them.
Yeah. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Perfect.
Well, it's not perfect.
Oh, sorry.
We just had this discussion.
Oh,
no! No, but I'd say, like, while it's not my favorite movie of the year, and it's not, like, something that I'm going to be, really the first movie that comes to mind where I'm like, hey, you gotta go to see this movie, bring the grandkiddies, go see it. I still enjoy it quite a bit. It's probably a movie that I would compare to, say, like, About Time, where it's a movie I genuinely enjoy and love and all that, but at the same time, it's not something like I, need to see constantly, or I need, like, it's not something that truly, oh man, this is a part of my soul, bro. And, but it was so well executed for what it was trying to do, and it did do here.
Yeah.
So, I would have to give it an 8 out of 10. Those -2 points is only just because, again, it's not on that same level of movies as, I would typically give that 10, but, all subjectivity. I like the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I would recommend y'all go see it.
There you go.
But, guys, those are our takes on this movie. We live in time, and we are currently living in a time in which you could go see this movie right now. So, if you have seen it, or you plan to go see it, are you excited to go see it? Or did you even know this movie was coming out, or if it was a thing? Whatever you're thinking, let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Annmarie, let's fast forward on to some spoiler talk.
This won't be too long.
It won't.
No.
No. I mean, spoilers beginning now.
Florence Pugh passes away.
She died.
Well, it's
at the very end.
You kind of know it's coming. She kind of has cancer.
Kind of has cancer.
Okay, she has cancer. And she passes away. And it ends with Andrew Garfield with their daughter, which is super sweet and, like, wholesome. I think.
And they got the dog.
And they have yeah.
Because they were talking about a dog at the beginning of the movie, and it's like, oh, they got a dog. They got a dog. It's so much visual storytelling. And like, they don't need to explain everything constantly. It's just like you find out and realize.
Yeah. And it's super sad, but also it's just super sweet because she got to, fulfill her dream of being a chef, but also being, like, a mom and a wife. Well, no, not a wife. They don't get married, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, they don't. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But they love each other very much.
I want to talk about all the, memes and callbacks in this movie. I think the horse, everyone knows about the horse in this movie.
Only for half a second.
Okay, but also, like, they eat these orange...
Jaffa cakes.
Yes.
Have you ever had Jaffa cake?
No.
Oh, they are so good.
Really? They looked good.
They are delicious. My sister got me hooked on them years ago, and they are wonderful.
I love that. I kept thinking, I'm like, wow, this is kind of funny. Like, this movie's marketing, I wish, played into that a little bit more.
The Jaffa cake situation?
No, and the horsey.
They really should play into the horsey thing. And even in the movie, even if it's in the movie for only half a second, which it is.
We should have cheered.
There were people laughing, I think, in the theater when that came up. And it was only in there for half a second. And you're like, what just, oh my gosh, I saw it and then it's gone. And it's
Bring it back.
It's still funny to me how that, like, the marketing team decided to have that take up a third of the poster. And now, like, when I went to Google Images,
It's gone.
recently, it's not gone. It's just like I noticed the poster and, like, photos for the movie. They kind of intentionally shift the horse out of frame, which is hilarious. But there was this thing, and I didn't even know. This is how I found out about the movie. Was AMC, once the first trailer dropped or the poster dropped for it, they they actually put the horse in all these different other posters for, like, movies that were coming out.
Oh man.
And I'm just like, what is this? What? Like, why is this horsey in Joker Folie à Deux? Like,
Oh, I love it.
yeah, and so that's how I found about We Live in Time. So, I mean, I was hoping that they would really lean more into that, but I guess they did the opposite. Like, no, we must be serious. Come on.
Oh man. Yeah, this movie, it was very good. It's very visually beautiful too, like you said. It's very simple storytelling, which I really like.
Yeah, it's really beautiful cinematography.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, again, quick spoiler talk and quick. Honestly, it was a longer review than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, whatever length you guys listen to here, let us know, because obviously if you're listening to this, you've seen the movie or are just a sadistic cinephile that just doesn't care about going to see the movie, but you want to know about the movie and all that stuff. You weird. I don't like you. You're weird. Kidding. We love you. But anyway, so whatever you guys are thinking about We Live in Time, let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Annmarie, what are we fast forwarding on to next?
Yeah, so we got a new trailer for Dune Prophecy. Now, I don't know about you, Ethan, but I had a hot take about Dune Prophecy earlier this year on Annmarie's.
Oh, you did? I was never made aware of such things.
Yeah, you definitely didn't post that.
No, most certainly not.
I'm worried about this, and this trailer, it eased my worries, but I'm still worried.
Why is that? Because here's the thing. I watched this new trailer for the Dune Prophet. Is it Prophecy or Prophet?
Prophecy.
Yeah, Prophecy. I watched this trailer and I'm just like, wow, this thing looks like a completely, like, it felt like it resolved all your qualms about what the first trailer had to deal with. And so I'm just like, really? Annmarie is still not on, like, this doesn't really turn her on a little more with this?
Oh, well, I will say it eased my concerns on the visual aspect of it, because I think that was a big concern for me.
Yeah.
Visually, it didn't look good in the first trailer.
Yes.
I think what worries me is really break it down as the story. And I know this is so stupid, and everyone's going to be like, Annmarie, you should feel fine about this. But I don't, because Dune holds a special place in my heart, and I don't like Frank Herbert's son's books, and I know this is taking place with Frank Herbert's son's books, and I'm just really nervous.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Just because it's inspired by, Brian Herbert's, son. Yeah, or sorry, Brian Herbert. He's not his own son.
Oh gosh.
No, Brian Herbert's work does not mean it's gonna be, fully like, it's not going to be exactly that. Mm-hmm. So they might be like, oh, here's some cool concepts he, started to work with, and maybe he was inspired by his dad's work. But, he's not going to be they're not going to be full throttle, like, true evangelical, evangelist about it, where they're going to be like, oh, we must share Brian Herbert's original vision, like, verbatim. No changes. It's perfect. Immaculate.
It's not. No. Do we know if Denis is producing or involved with this anyway?
I'm pretty sure he's producing.
Okay, good. Because that does help ease my discomfort as well. I really want to like this. I think Dune is so cool. And I'm so glad that it's getting its due finally. But it just makes me nervous. But, The Penguin has been really good, and that's HBO Max. This is HBO Max, so I really have to trust them.
Yeah, I mean, Max has just been knocking out of the park with their HBO content. Just bam, 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 like one after the other. And you know what? It just makes me... It's one of those streaming platforms that I'm happy to pay the amount. Like, it feels like I'm getting my money's worth with that service, compared to a lot of others where it's like, I don't know about that. HBO, and Max, they do a really good job of delivering. And that was not a sponsored message.
No.
Dummies.
Are you, Ethan's read just the first Dune. I've read the first 3 Dune and...
Wrong. I read the first Dune and the prologue to Messiah.
Oh.
So I read a little more than you let on.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I basically read the whole series.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've been trying to convince Ethan to read Messiah, everyone. I really want him, but he's like, no, I gotta wait for the movie.
I mean, it's a reasonable thing to do.
Okay, fine. I'm interested to see where they go because, as we know, I can't remember the actress names, but she is playing Harkonnen, and that's super interesting to me. Harkonnen, excuse me. I always said Harkonnen. It's Harkonnen. That's super interesting to me, and I'm excited to see where that leads because something that's really interesting about Dune is they deal a lot with genetics in the Bene Gesserit, so that's super exciting to me. And just, there's so much depth that you can go into. I'm just so excited. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited about it. I'm not like too... before this trailer, wasn't too gung-ho about it, but, I was, like, eager for it. After this trailer, I know I'm a lot more jazzed for it than I was before. So, we'll have to see. Hey, guys, but regardless of what our takes are, what are your takes on this? Are you guys excited for Dune Prophecy? Are you guys, not excited? Are you worried about it, kind of like Annmarie is a little bit? Are you like Annmarie? Are you one with Annmarie?
What?
Whatever your takes are, let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Annmarie, what topic are we fast-forwarding on to next here?
So this is really interesting. This kind of deals with 2 different worlds, the book world and the movie world. So it was recently announced that Susan Collins, the author of the Hunger Games series, is actually doing another book called Sunrise on the Reaping. Now, this book is kind of another spin-off, just like the Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. That title's way too long. And so this one is super interesting because the book is getting released next year, 2025, March, I believe. And the movie has already been announced for November 2026. And I just want to give credit to Susan Collins because, one, that's a great deal. I hope you're getting paid well. But also, it just goes to show you how big this franchise is. I know a lot of people are saying young adult stories are dead. We had our time in 2012, 2013, but they're kind of dead now. But Susan Collins, she's really smart.
I mean, it just goes to show that the audience is hungering for more.
Oh gosh, please stop. I'm just so interested, how in the, to go that quickly and to have that confidence, I'm just super excited. I think it's one of Lionsgate's biggest draws, too. I don't know how well the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes did, but I know a lot of people enjoyed that movie. So it just really, fascinates me that we're going into the story already.
Yeah, now, is this a prequel, or is it a sequel to what has already happened?
No, it's a prequel. So it's the 50th It's the 50th Hunger Games, and it's Haymitch's story.
So this is after Ballads of Songbirds and Snackies?
Yes.
Okay.
It's after that, but before Hunger Games. So the Hunger Games series took place at the 74th Hunger Games, and Ballads of... I love how we're gonna keep mispronouncing the name of this movie. Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes takes place in the 10th Hunger Games. So this is the 50th, and it's Haymitch. And if you don't remember, Haymitch is Katniss and Peeta's like coach, basically. So what happens in the 50th Hunger Games is there's double the amount of contestants. So instead of 24, I believe there's 48 contestants now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So what we know, what we can get is that this movie is definitely going to be PG-13. It's definitely going to be kind of bloody and out there, but also really dive in. I think that's something that Susan Collins does. It's just what makes you human and like going into that a little bit more.
The key is here, though, they're really banking on this the transition from book sales numbers transitioning into movie ticket numbers. And I'm not... How well did Ballad of Songbirds and Snackies do at the box office?
I don't have the exact number on me, but I know that it was rated highly, the movie. And so I believe the book came out a little bit beforehand. I don't think they had kind of the same deal as they have now with Sunrise on the Reaping. So I think it's a little bit different.
Okay, so it grossed $348.9 million worldwide. So it made its money back, and
a little lower than the other Hunger Games, but still, like, hey, movie franchises would be happy with that.
And it is like a $3.3 billion worldwide franchise, like as a whole. So, I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised they're going this direction, but at the same time, it seems like as the movies go on, there's like that little bit of a decline more and more with each movie at the box office.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting decision to kind of already jump to decide to make the movie, but I'm not too surprised. It's not at a point where it's like they're in the red,
Yeah.
No pun intended with Clifford and Scholastic. But like, no, it's just they're at a point where they obviously are very confident still in this franchise and they can keep riding it out a bit longer. And who knows, depending on how this movie does, it might lead on to the next one. They might be able to keep this momentum going for a lot longer than, say, either of us think it could go.
Yeah, and I think it's so cool that Susan Collins is doing that and like kind of keeping this franchise alive. I do still think it has legs, and clearly it does. And people, like the general public, is super excited for this.
Now, which one has legs, the songbird or the snake?
I don't know. Do snakes have legs? I'm kidding.
Little tiny ones, I think.
Oh, okay.
Little,
centipedes.
like microscopic.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know. I don't remember how snakes work. Anatomy of a Snake, the next Hunger Games book.
Oh.
Ballad of the Anatomy of a Snake. Anyway, hey guys, so you heard our little take here on the Hunger Games franchise.
Sunrise on the Reaping.
Sunrise and some reaping going on. And we can definitely pronounce titles properly. Can always bank on that happening.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, what are you guys thinking? Are you guys excited about this? Do you guys think it's a little too early for them to already be planning the movie when the book hasn't even come out yet? Hey, whatever you're thinking, let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Annmarie, what is the final topic of tonight that we are fast-forwarding onto and now playing?
I'm very sad.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
You know why I'm sad?
Did I do this?
No.
Oh, okay, then we're good.
You did nothing wrong. The box office hurt me because Saturday Night bombed like bad. And we love this film. Ethan and I really love this film. Go check out our Dune or Race to Best Picture little clip about how I think Saturday Night might beat Dune to Best Picture. But I'm just so disappointed.
Yeah, it made... I couldn't believe looking at these numbers. Opening weekend, it made something along the lines of 600... or no, like 6-digit numbers. Which... I knew it wasn't going to make, like, Deadpool and Wolverine numbers.
No.
But, wow, I mean, it also didn't have a worldwide release. So I guess I can't say I'm too surprised, but to say that it's this low, that's the part I'm surprised about. And I'm wondering, Annmarie, why do you think this is? Why do you think that Saturday night, outside of it not being a, worldwide release, why do you think the box office was so low?
Marketing. I think it really breaks down to marketing. I don't think people knew about this one, and I don't think people understood it. Because that's a huge thing. I think people were like, Saturday night? What's Saturday night? Is it SNL? Is it like a sketch? Like, I don't think they marketed this film that well. And like, now they're making like, I think SNL did a sketch about Saturday night. And like, why didn't we have that beforehand? Like, this movie's really good. Like, and trust me, I'm not a spokesperson for this movie at all. Like, I don't get paid for saying this, but I really enjoyed it. But the marketing for these movies is just failing them.
Yeah, and which is kind of sad because the trailer house that they got for this, movie was great.
Mm-hmm.
Like the trailers were very well done, well made. But yeah, to your point, like the marketing team though behind it just did not do a good job of like stating like what this movie is and like really getting the word out there, especially if you're just gonna be domestic. Like, I'm not sure what their plans are, if there was gonna be this worldwide thing, but one, they started marketing this movie way too late. Like, when did the trailer come out? It came out maybe like the first trailer came out, I think maybe 2 months or something before the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you and I, we pay attention to this stuff, so we got excited, and we were already on the lookout for this kind of stuff. But, to the average moviegoer that, or even below that, it's just someone that might be, say, like an SNL fan, but like doesn't pay too much attention to the entertainment trades. They're not going to know about this. They're just going to hear, oh, a Saturday night movie. There's no one from the Saturday night live cast involved. I mean, why would I go see this? Like, or heck, they wouldn't even get to that conversation because they didn't even hear about the movie.
Yeah.
So, like, there's just so much to do with that marketing aspect, and at the same time, it didn't really demonstrate like because you and I have a friend. We were talking to them about the movie, and we were bringing up how much we like it, and he's like, oh, I wasn't sure about going to see it because, I don't know too much about the history of it, about Saturday Night Live or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, never really thought about, like, someone needing to know the history, but it's like, yeah, that's a big part. That was the whole thing that they were relying on with the marketing, and it was kind of almost reminding me of, a blend of the Dungeons and Dragons marketing and the Kevin Costner Horizons Part 1 marketing, where it's just relying on one aspect, like, oh, this isn't known IP, Dungeons and Dragons, and then this is like like, Kevin Costner and he's in the West, you love that, so we won't tell you much more about it, but there you go, like, that's all you need to give us your money and want to go see movie. And it doesn't work. Guys, it doesn't work.
It's dead in the water. Like, yes, this movie has a phenomenal cast, but people don't care about that. They really don't. They care about characters and everything. And it sucks because, yeah, our friend Steven, who's been on the podcast before, he said, like, the history thing, like, why didn't we have a trailer being like, I don't know, some like goofy thing like, this is the guy who created SNL, and this is the guy playing him, or something like that. That's like goofy.
Yeah, and I didn't even know Dylan O'Brien was in the movie until we were watching it.
I didn't know either.
Wow, like, seriously, that's something you could really push. And again, a lot of the marketing didn't come out, like a lot of the social media stuff that they were doing and all the press.
It was way too late.
Yeah, it was way too late. The movie had already come out, and I then started seeing in my algorithm. I'm like, what is going on?
Hopefully, I really do think like this could win Best Picture. So hopefully, the award category nomination timeline really pushes it, because it's really disappointing to me. I really wish this did well.
Yeah, I think they were just they were just kind of like, this is going to be our award movie.
Yeah.
We're not focused on box office with it. We're just here to make a movie and then hopefully like have it win the awards and, you know, maybe make a few dollars on the side here and there. But they didn't market it enough to the point where they could make a few dollars here and there.
They flew too close to the sun.
Yeah. But gosh, I just want a good movie to do well, and that's happened here and there, like throughout this year. But you know, it's
disappointing.
It's very sad because this is one of the best movies of the year, hands down, and I want more people to go see it and enjoy the same, get the same joy that you and I got out of it. But hey, with that, guys, what were your thoughts on Saturday night? Were you guys surprised by the box office results? Were you not surprised? Did you even hear about the movie? Because a lot of you apparently did not. So, hey, whatever your takes are, let us know your takes on our tapes in the comments down below. And with that, Annmarie, I think that about does it for tonight.
That wraps it up.
It wraps it up. We've been living here in time. You guys have been with us here in time. And we are going to close out things here in due time. So
pew pew.
Pew, pew. But hey guys, thank you for joining us on this episode of Cassette Take. We hope you haven't ejected thus far into the podcast, but if you have or haven't, please don't forget to rewind. I've been Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And that's Annmarie.
What?
Take care.